I don't know about you, but Mondays, guys, like, I typically I like to do a weekly reset on a Sunday to kind of get my brain in order so I can tackle the week feeling, cool, calm, and collected. But for some reason, well, yesterday I just didn't do one. And by for some reason, I mean I was busy. So, there is totally a reason. But that means that we have a nice blank slate to start with on Monday. And that is why we are doing these productivity sprints. You can obviously do these on any day of the week. It doesn't have to be Monday for you. I think that if you're here live, for most of you, it's probably Sunday. But we're going to get some stuff done. In terms of how this is going to work, we're going to have a 45-minute, 15-minute split. So 45 minutes of work where we can get things done, focused with all of our accountability buddies who are here, and then 15 minutes to come back and just like check in and see how much we actually got done. So I'm glad to see that everybody's here in the chat saying hi, hi, hi. If you don't have live chat turned on already, then make sure to change it from top to live, unless you don't want to be distracted by other people, which is also like a thing. But like, come on, let's see all of the comments. And so the first thing we're going to do is let everybody know what you're going to be working on. If you're here on the live, then obviously that's in the chat. And if you're here on the replay, then let us know in the comments, all right? Because we're going to hold you accountable to this. I want to know what it is that you plan to work on for the next 45 minutes. And then I want you to come back and check in and say whether you actually got it done, okay? So for me, my first protocol is to actually figure out what I'm doing with my life today. I've been kind of trying this new daily setup. We'll talk a little bit more about it later, but I'm going to set this one up first, and then I'm going to pick one of my tasks off that list that I can get done, because I don't think it's going to take me 45 minutes to set this up. To hold us accountable to our time today, we do have a little timer. If I can find it somewhere in here. Oh, God, I'm so small. I think I feel like too small. I'm still too small. It makes me sound like, no, I must be in the screen. I think that looks pretty good, right? You can see what I'm doing, and you can see what our time remaining is. So, as I said, let us know what you're working on. We are going to get started very, very shortly. I just want to make sure that I have all of my stuff where I need it to be, because there's nothing worse than starting a productivity sprint and realizing you don't have any of your things. Just, quite frustrating. So I need my Tombow, because this month we're doing a whole black and white thing. So that should be all I need for this part. Alrighty. Looks like you guys are going to be doing reading and researching and journaling and all of the good stuff. Nice. Excellent work. I'm going to pop a little banner on here, so if anybody joins us a little bit later, they know what's what. Boink. I love it. Just scrolls along the bottom. Alrighty, team. We're getting started in 3, 2, 1. Okay, let's go. Very aggressive. All right, team. Hopefully your first sprint went super well. I want to know, how much did you get done? What did you accomplish? Or what is still left on your list of things to do? So for me, I obviously got this one set up. So that's looking pretty good. I didn't realize I was going to have as many tasks to write down today, so I might be a little bit short on space. If anything else comes up, I could always use this space here or just flip back and write it in these ones. It doesn't really matter. Or, of course, I could go on to the next page, though technically I did want this to be for Tuesday. It's fine. It doesn't matter. So wrote my list. That was looking good. Managed to tidy my desk, as you may have seen. It wasn't like super messy, but there was enough stuff on it that I felt like it needed a bit of a tidy up. And then after that one, I populated some of my trackers. For instance, saying that I'm still having a struggle bus of trying to get out of bed by 8 a.m. I'm awake. I just don't get out of bed. And then I did my goal plan for my make a trial of a weekly work routine. It's supposed to say make and trial, but I wrote make a trial. So I know what I meant. But nah. Alrighty, let's see. What did you guys get done? We had the folding of the fitted sheet. If you struggle with folding fitted sheets, let us know. I've found a pretty good system for it. It does require a buddy, or like it's just way easier with a buddy. So I usually get Vogel to help me with it. But it's effectively just like him holding one of the corners with a finger, and then I just kind of like put the other corners over that finger so they're all kind of stacked, and then you can lay it down on the bed in a very nice kind of flat way and then fold it from that. But maybe we need a folded sheet fitting tutorial. Let's see. Oh, excellent. Tuesday's video is uploading. All of the laundry is folded. Oh, that is very satisfying. I am not great at doing laundry. Like, Monday is my laundry day, and I still have to put away my old laundry from last week. So excellent work. Let's see. Got the first few sections of the PowerPoint and script done. Killing it. Nice. All right, so we're making progress. I love that. Oh, got your weekly spread done. You got to check the weather, add a few more decorations. The weather here is looking pretty good. I don't know if I can show you without giving you guys all whiplash or something. Let's do it. Let's do a try. So let's see, because I have my window open. I have my curtain open today, which is not very typical for me. So it's like, oh, look, there's outside. There's the sky. It looks a little bit dark because the sun is around the corner somewhere. Over there, but then we're turning slowly over here. Oh, look, it's you guys, infinite loop, and there's my desk. All right, you guys don't need to see this, so we'll go back to the other one. But yeah, I don't usually have my my curtain open when I do streams because the lighting is like inconsistent. And I was like, today's a nice enough morning. We could probably get away with it, so that's what we're doing. But no, not opening the window. It's absolutely freezing. I don't want to do that. Molly is like, I can see my house from here. All right, let's see. So the first 45 minutes, I feel like I was doing like a kind of slow start to the day, just kind of like working up to actually getting some kind of real deal stuff done, because writing a task list, although it's productive and it needed to be done, and I need to let myself, do that, I do want to get kind of stuck into more of like the hard-hitting kind of work, if you know what I mean. So I did say that I was going to tell you how this daily works. For our book club book last month, we read a book called Make Time, which I thought was really good, and it seems that a lot of other people in the book club found it enjoyable too, so that was awesome. But effectively, they give you a bunch of little strategies for how to, like, pick a daily highlight or something that's kind of like the focus for the day, or something that, like, if you ended the day and that was the thing that you got done, you would feel accomplished, or like it would have built joy into your day, or it would have kind of like, just gotten you close to where you want to go. That's the kind of long story short of it. And then they give you a whole bunch of little tactics for like either how to pick your highlight, or how to decide on when you're going to do it, or like whatever, that kind of thing, how you're going to make sure you're focusing on it, and how you're going to kind of keep your energy up so that you can kind of get the most out of your time to do that highlight properly. So the way that I've set up each of these dailies is that I write my little highlight at the top. So this is the kind of thing that I'm aiming to do so I can finish the day accomplished. We've got a little rating of how my focus was and how my energy was. And then we have my 3 tactics that I'm trying. So 1 tactic with regards to the highlight, 1 tactic with regards to my focus, and 1 tactic with regards to my energy. So for my energy tactic, I've been doing the same one every day, which is just fake the sunset. So it's wearing what I call my moon glasses at the end of every day to try and make it so that my body doesn't think like, oh, the sun's still up, we should still be awake. And I'm like, no, it's not the sun. It's just my very bright house lights. So I've been wearing my moon glasses to try and trick my body into thinking that it's actually like, oh, look, time to wind down, sleepy time, that kind of thing. But then the space underneath that, so these little, like the question mark and then the numbers again, is just a space to reflect on how effective that strategy was, or write some notes about it. So for example, schedule your highlight. I wrote easy because I got halfway interrupted with a thought. But the reason that scheduling my highlight was easy, my highlight being have an enjoyable afternoon tea with friends, is that it was a different friend's event. Like, it wasn't my event. So they set the time that it was. So I'm like, well, that's easy. I didn't even have to try to schedule it because they told me when to be there. And then let's see, like going all in. So it's like this one worked well and writing it down helped. And then like 80, faking the sunset, put my moon glasses on. They dig into my head a little. So after a while, because the sun has been going down earlier because it's winter time, wearing my moon glasses for as long as I have been has been a little bit of a pain point. So that kind of gives me the I guess the insight to say, yes, I still want to wear them, like they've been helpful, but maybe I want to put them on a little bit later. I don't have to put them on as soon as the sun goes down, because the sun's going down at like, I don't know, 5:30, 5 o'clock, something like that. So wearing them for that long of a period is kind of not necessarily something that's working quite as well as it could, but yes. Anywho, so I guess now we need to pick our next task. Like, what is the thing we're going to work on next? I think for me, given the fact that my highlight for today, or that focus for myself, because I like to just think of it as a focus, even though that's not technically what the highlight is, but whatever, is to set up and film Vogel's July pages, because it is already July and he doesn't have those pages set up. So here's July's journal, his Vogel's journal, just a little bit too close, but you can see. So for June, we did him this kind of little plants theme and had little hanging plants and pot plants and stuff. And of course, he didn't use his monthly log, but it's cool, like whatever. And then just his regular weekly logs that he likes. So all good. So I need to sketch those out. I need to decide on a theme, and I'm going to film that today. So that's kind of my main project for today, if we will. So that includes things like picking the theme, sketching the stuff in, filming, editing, and posting it. So that is what I'm going to work on. I'm not going to get up to the filming part because, funnily enough, to film it, I need this guy, and this guy's being used right now to be here with you fine folks. So we're probably not going to be able to get quite as far as that, but we can at least pick the theme and start sketching it in. And as a backup task, if I have more time left on our little timer, I'm going to put away the wrapping paper. We'll put that one in because that's nice and small. And then I could possibly get started on my MIA homework. So that sounds pretty good. As said, I would love to know what is it that you are going to be working on for our next sprint, all right? Because we want to make sure that we're all kind of keep it on with this thing, making the most of our time and all of that good stuff. If you are here on the replay and you already put a comment down below telling us what you were originally working on, make sure to update us. How are you going? How did you go with the last time block? So let's see. I'm going to need to get my stuff out because I like to make sure that we start this stuff prepared. So I'm going to need my ruler for Vogel's stuff. I'm going to need my pencil and a razor. I might go snoop my washi stash and see if there's something in there I can decorate his stuff with, because I just I don't know about you guys, but it seems that a lot of people at the moment are in a bit of a creative slump. Like, I know that for my setup, I was feeling a little bit kind of creatively, I wouldn't go as far to say burnt out, but like a little bit creatively down, like slumped. So that's why for this month I went with kind of just printable images and sticking them in. I love it. I think it looks super cute. And I also, where's my phone? I made a little phone background to match it. See? It's so cute. So I thought that was pretty cool. But for Vogel's one, we haven't talked about what he might want to have. So I'm going to need to think of a possible theme for him, especially because I just don't have very many stickers that aren't super, like, I'm going to say feminine. Like, technically, like, anybody could use them realistically, but it feels like they're not so suitable for his personal aesthetic. That kind of makes sense. So, writing words for Camp NaNoWriMo. Excellent. Task today, we wash the floors. Oh my gosh, no. Wash the floors, cover the sink, sweep the floors. You could do it. I believe in you. Working on your mom's journal. Do some cleaning up this round. Nice. Excellent. Alrighty, do some dates and icons in your habit tracker. Excellent. It's been really weird this month not tracking as many habits as I usually do, because usually on my, where is she? My self-care tracker, I've got like a little fleet of habits, and I keep thinking like, oh yeah, I've just done, insert task here. I should go mark that off on my habit tracker, but it's like not on there because I'm only tracking a couple. So, meh. So, let us see. We will need to reset our tracker. All right. So again, we're doing 45 minutes, 15-minute split. So we will be back in a bit to do some more hanging and chilling together. We'll put our little banner back just in case anybody joins us midway. Obviously, like if you're here on the replay, you'll be like, why would somebody join in the middle of a video? That's super strange. But alrighty, just to wish you well. Tink, you can do the thing. I believe in you. Let's go get some more stuff done. In 3, 2, 1.
really, it was just like, to me, there's that yeah. It's quite a difference, right? I also won't probably be doing much in the I did tell her I left last once you've marked the calendar. I mean, if you're not buddying. But yeah, but I mean, if you're not buddying, it's kind of nice. So those last assignments in the month, you pay a lot. So yeah, it's not. And I'm getting a lot of messages. Did you? Yeah, like this is probably the most popular scene. And I like that you can. I feel like wanting to see something like that. I'm like, hey, I did that while they was kind of what connected to iPhone. Solve some problems. I might have created some new problems with the progression stuff. I'm keen to. Did you want to go over these tips I had on how I manage my calendar and what you can have you read? Yeah. No, I think I like to do that. Like, flexible, which unfortunately is why my buddy feedback wants to work in full times. Let me just have a look at these things to see if I number 7. Yeah, that's okay. It doesn't look like anything that needs like immediate action from me. We can have I can kind of show you what I do. Yeah, that's great. found that the thing I did was I just dedicated like an hour to just what things do I need? What's the best way to group them? Yeah, I mean, it doesn't have to be a project. Well, I'm gonna wrap up here. Normally I'm not going to let these go over, but I am in this very okay, when you got 5 minutes, you wake up like, no, it's very, you only got 5 minutes. That's all I'm giving you. So, okay. Well, the main thing is just that's totally fine. I'm really happy to get more. I'm currently got 81 notes that you go to sleep. So that's chaotic as you go to bed. Until I can get the access and stuff through.
All right, our second block is done. Hopefully you got lots done. Let me know what you got done. So I managed to sketch out the majority of Vogel's setup, like sketch out not so much the decoration, more so the kind of functional stuff. So if we have a little look, creek. So go over. We've got, oh yeah, there we go. The calendar grid for July is already in. Yay. And we have each of the weeklies, and huzzah, I managed to make sure that I didn't put anything down the bottom here, which is good because this is his notes space. For every other box, that's where we put his, like, you know, dinner plan, meal plan kind of a thing. You got food made for yourself? Excellent. No, let me know what you guys got done, because I am your accountability buddy. I want to make sure that you're doing the things that you want to be doing. So huzzah. So got all of those in. In terms of the decorative elements, I was kind of thinking I could possibly go with like a lighthouses theme. I've got these stickers from Kayla, Planning with Kay. Cute little crab. Oh my gosh. So I was going to check to see if Vogel would prefer this one or if he would prefer the neon lights one, which I'm thinking like it might be a little bit too pink purple for him, but also like he had a Mean Girls theme that was fully pink, so who knows. We will see which one he prefers. And if he likes both of them, we'll just do one for this month and one for next month. It's all good. Ooh, rosé penne, delicious. I haven't eaten today, so that's like future Jess's problem. She'll get to that. But yesterday I made scones to take to my friend's afternoon tea, and wasn't too sure how many people were going to be there, so I made a fairly large batch, but then there weren't as many of us as I thought there were going to be, so I got to bring some home. So I have scones to eat later. Very excited. Delicious. But this is looking pretty good. I need to check in with Vogel to see which theme he wants before I actually set it up. So I kind of left this. You'll see that I put away my wrapping paper, so that one got ticked off. We're kind of like not actively trying to save the wrapping paper. It's just that the wrapping paper that I used, I taped very delicately so that it could be used again. So we're like, oh yeah, might as well save it. It's a big enough piece that isn't completely ruined. So I figured we could save that one. Good question. How much longer are you going to be working? We're going to do one more sprint together and one more just like, you know, debrief check-in. Mainly because in an hour and 10 minutes, I have a meeting. So I don't get a lot of meetings. You know, I work for myself by myself. So for the one meeting that I do get every fortnight, I try to make it. So we did that part. After that, I got started on my homework, my MIA homework, which is for a course that I'm doing. It's like this accountability group thing. That's, I guess, my other one meeting that I have weekly, which is on like a Wednesday. So I want to get my homework done for that. Technically speaking, nobody's going to hold me like to actually doing the homework. Like, it's an accountability group, but you don't actually have to do the stuff. It's like, you know, you're an adult, make your own choices kind of a thing. But I do like to come with the homework done, prepared for what we're going to be covering and stuff. So I've started working on that. Vogel's in a meeting. Can't check in with him regarding theme, but it's all good. What else? I think that's pretty much all I got done in the last one. Like, ruling boxes takes longer than you might think a lot of the time, especially when it's like, you know, oh, it's just 4 boxes per page, 8 per layout. Like, that shouldn't take too long. But maybe I'm just too persnickety and I want all my lines to be really straight, so it does take a little while. But it's all good. Aw, I'm glad that you got inspiration. That's exciting. Yeah, no, totally can understand the idea of starting something and quitting. Like, rest in peace, Jess's old hobbies. Like, yeah, I do realize I did just say that it was an accountability group where you don't have to be accountable. It's one of those things that, like, I got it as like a freebie when I signed up for my course. So I was like, oh, okay, that's kind of cool. Like, you know, it's not the reason I bought the course, but I figured I might as well, you know, go all in on that accountability group. But some people paid to be there and they're not showing up. And I'm just like, okay, that's cool. Like, we have 35 or so people who are in the group, like the accountability group. And so the first week, like maybe 30 of them showed up, and then the next week 17. And I'm like, oh my god, like, I don't know how much this cost, because you know, whatever. Anywho, you paid to be here. Like, come along and be here. So we've had 3 meetings so far. So yeah, the first one was like 30 people. The second one was 17. And then the next one after that was like, I think we had a little higher turnout. So it was like 19 or something. But I'm just like, okay, choices. I'm going to make the most of my free opportunity to get some stuff done. So it's all good. And I hope you're making the most of this opportunity to get stuff done with us here today. Yeah, see, it's that idea of like the social pressure of having to check in. But I also, because I kind of asked the people about it, I'm like, hey, is this like typical for people just to like not show up because, and they said that sometimes people don't come because they like haven't done the homework and they feel like it's going to be awkward, or they like, we just have like a general trend of people kind of dropping off towards the end, and I'm like, yeah, nah, I think I'll make the genuine attempt, do the hard thing, and get my homework done and arrive, prepared as possible. Like last week, I rocked up, and I hadn't quite finished what I was doing, but it's like being there still. I get value from it. So like even if I haven't fully completed the homework, I'm still going to show up. Life gets in the way. Stuff happens. So my homework for this week is to go through like a couple of kind of like PDF things that they've sent out and just like fill them in with regards to my little corner of the internet, quote quote. I like to think of it as our corner of the internet. We're all here together. So like writing some notes down about our little corner of the internet. So it's like it's not like hard to do. It's just something that I don't know. I have a tendency to overthink. If you haven't noticed. So it does take me possibly a little while longer than somebody who maybe doesn't overthink quite as much as I do, but it's still valuable. Like doing the homework and showing up to the meetings is still a valuable thing for me. So I'm gonna keep doing it. But let's see. We have, giving up on a ruler. Yep, no, that's fair. I don't think I could ever fully give up on my ruler. Like, I can do the free-handed lines for these kind of sections, and that's okay because the color is like super pale. So if I go kind of cattywampus, it doesn't matter so much. But like these darker boxes, I'm like, no, they must be straight. And for that, like my ruler is very much necessary. Like these guys were printouts, so they were already straight, nice and easy. But like, straight lines, beautiful. Let's see. Yeah, you can ask a bullet journal related question. If you guys have questions, even if we're going through the productivity sprint portion, like feel free to chuck them in because I'll just put a little star on them and I'll make sure to, I'll make sure. I will genuinely attempt to come back to them. But if you have a question, yeah, for sure, just let me know. So I'm thinking that for the next sprint, I'm probably going to continue with my homework because I've already started on it. It's kind of in my mind at the moment, so I might as well continue. That idea of like every time you change tasks, your focus just kind of a thing. So that's something that I am becoming more aware of. So I figured like already kind of on that track, might as well continue with that homework. I could probably get it finished in the next sprint as well if I'm just like laser focus, doing the thing. Because what's my laser today? My laser was dealing with email at the end of the day. I've actually closed my email inbox. Typically I keep it open, but I don't have any of the little notification pop-ups, the ones that go bloop, like, or from the other side, bloop, like you have an email. I've turned those off at the very least. But even just the icon at the bottom of my screen with the little mail symbol that says like you have mail kind of a thing, that is distracting. So I've completely closed my email inbox for today so that I don't have that as a distraction while I'm trying to do my work. Like, if you haven't read Make Time, like, I think that it's a very valuable thing to read. They kind of talk about the idea that not every tactic is going to work for every person. I appreciated that. And they also have sections of the book where, like, because it's from 2 authors, they even have differences of opinion on how something could be done. So they give, like, both of their opinions on something. Like they said that they don't like to-do lists. I'm like, okay, that's cool. I politely disagree. I love a to-do list. But for them, they talk about like their strategy to use like checklist kind of things that are a little bit different. So one of them looks at it as a might-do list and the other one looks at it as a burner list, and they kind of go into some detail about that, which is pretty cool. Alrighty, let's see. Do you ever feel like you're getting burnt out after doing a theme or a month that took a lot of work? yup. Like 100%. Let's see. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go find you a thing. So, excuse me. Where are you, my child? Oh, you were green, so you're not in the cupboard. This guy. Like, when I did my February setup from last year, which technically, looking at it, you'd think, oh yeah, that's not so much work. You should be fine. But doing this on every page, murder. like I loved the gradient. I thought it was, a lot of fun, but I don't have to do anything, but wanting to do this gradient on every single page, by the time I'd even just gotten to the weeklies, I was over it. But again, I really liked the punchiness of the color, and I liked the brightness, and I liked that it was like full page color, like, oh. But then when I got to these ones, I was like, I'm already burnt out. I haven't even started the month yet. I can't bring myself to do more of that. So I set this one up nice and simple, and then I hated it because the blue didn't match the blue in here, because I'm just like, I like the cohesiveness. So the next week I was like, okay, well, what if we just did like the corners? And this one I quite liked. Like, I didn't use it as much as I probably could have, but it still worked fine, kind of a thing. This one was my Wordle tracker, but again, that's just like at the top, and it's a Dutch door, so it was like several pages with just the one at the top, which was okay. This one I tried to just use the colors so that I didn't have to do all the decoration, but then it didn't match enough, so I got annoyed again. So I was like, okay, I'll put the panel down the side. This entire month, like, ugh. As I said, I really loved the gradients, but it was just like way too much for every single week. If I had have done the whole month as Dutch doors and just put a panel down the side, I probably would have preferred it a little bit more. But that meant for the next month, this probably doesn't look as simple, I suppose, but this was way more approachable than doing these ones. Because for each of these, because I am a persnickety biscuit, I had to washi tape the page and do the lines of color. But then because there were so many lines, it was like so much washi taping and took so much time. This one, on the other hand, envelopes are really easy to draw. They're rectangles with extra lines. So this was just like way easier, and it just like brought a little bit more peace to my soul. And, this was still when I was a teacher, so things didn't necessarily get filled in the whole way. Life happens, but this was much more kind of peace-inducing, I suppose, than doing these ones over and over. We had another question. The question was about a pen. Alrighty, I'm using BAM, my Papermate Inkjoy gel pen. I have like a small fleet of them now because the good people bought me some pens, so now I've got like just lots, and it makes me so happy because they're my favorite. The problem that I have with it, though, and it's not really like a real problem, it's a very first world problem, is that the one that I was using prior to this, I didn't really realize it was running out. So the kind of pen strokes or the ink or whatever, it was quite a bit thinner, which wasn't a problem. Like, it was fine. But it meant that when I changed to this pen, which is new and full of ink, it felt like so much more inky compared to the last one. But we get used to it. It's all good. I love the quality of black. I actually quite like thicker black lines when it comes to my writing. I feel like it just doesn't look as messy, kind of a thing, but I love this. Let's see, is the Inkjoy ink archival? I would expect not. It's certainly not waterproof. Let's put it that way. But for the length of time that I've been using it, it hasn't disappeared yet. But I also haven't been journaling for like 10 or plus years. So if you ask me in 10 years, no, I'm pretty sure it's not archival. The only pens I think that I do have that are archival are the microns are archival, and I sometimes use those for like doing the ruling on my boxes and stuff like that, wherever they are. But these guys, not so much. But I love them. They're beautiful. They're my favorites. Let's see. Alrighty, we're going to do this question, and then we're going to go back to doing our work. So we need to start our next sprint. Alrighty, what do you put in a daily log? I'm writing down everything I do. Is that correct? And making notes as well. All right, well, correct is a very strong word. It's your journal. You do you, boo. But I also like to write down everything. My thought with the daily log is that, it's the first place that things go. So rather than, in the throes of everyday life, rather than kind of mentally filtering and being like, oh, I need to put this here, or I need to put that there, everything just goes in the daily log first. There are some things that I'll take the time to be like, no, actually, you deserve to go in XYZ collection and put it there. But everything else will just kind of go straight into the daily log. Coming back to that, it is 0.7. It should be linked in the description box. It should be like at the top-ish of the kind of list of equipments. But yeah, I find that everything just goes in the daily log. And that's why some of my daily logs, if we flip back, some of them are kind of shorter kind of a thing, and then some of them get to be a bit longer, and then some of them take like a full page. So the idea would be that anything that like is a thought or a note or a task, even if it's not necessarily for that day, I would chuck it into the daily log. And then at the end of the day or the end of the week, I would move it to where it needs to go. That's what all of the little arrows mean. So it's like book doctor's appointment. That got like kicked forward to, the end of June, which I still haven't done it. Same idea with like Discord event covers. And that got started yesterday, even though I wrote it down for the 19th of June. Hopefully that helps. We are going to have a video on the daily log. We flick forward. So to our little Bujo basic series, I think it's, daily log. There it is. And then rapid logging. And then the difference between signifiers and bullets. They're all coming. We will get there eventually. Whoopah. So in terms of our tasks, we're going to start our sprint again soon. What are you going to be doing? You let us know. We need to reset our timer. I am going to be doing my MIA homework because it is due, quote, quote, on Wednesday. And I'd like to get it done earlier so that then I can think ahead to what our next piece of homework might be and start getting myself ahead on that, because it's just like a nice feeling to feel ahead on things. Anywho, let us know either in the comments or in the chat, what is it you're going to be working on? Our time starts in 3, 2, 1. Also, just in case, tink. Let's go.
world of ours. Yeah. There is also, you do normally have a rule rate or something where you send it to your checkers check it. So, not like a formal rule or anything, but that's usually the practice, right? Because it's usually, well, that person's programming for someone to check. So they might be strong. just in terms of this bit, you and I can probably like confirm this. But I know there's a little bit of there's like a lot of complete requests, which I'm just no account yeah, because just yet. But yeah, we'll manage that as is. I think possibly some overlap as well. So. I might do that today. Worth saying in the biotech team as well, David, he said Simon doesn't do any checking and they really like clients so that he sort of will overflow capacity if they do have issues. So that might help that team out a bit and not be as good as all been. Almost, I think every color's down to one totally at the moment, or soon to be. Yeah. Oh, I think Nathan's on leave soon, and then I think when he gets back, yeah, right about to go. So there's probably going to be discussions with the impression I'm getting is the expectation is those might just slow down a bit during that period. been fairly consistent with that, progress based thing. We can unlock around there. So it's probably pretty far after I reckon that's when the first
There we go. There we go. Alrighty, what did we get done? Let's go have a look. So move this guy out of the way. Go put this one here and bring back me journal. So my main task, what was I working on? Like I was just doing it. It was to do my MIA homework, and I did do a good chunk of it. I've still got a bit of it to go. Let's say like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, there are a lot more pages to go than I thought, but I also feel like I've done this before. Why does this feel so familiar? I think it's because I have... Anyways, whatever. So I think it's just very similar to something that I've already done with them before, but we've made fairly good progress on that, so that's always nice to see. I'll just zoom this in a little bit. It still has a little bit more, but I'm sure that I will be able to get it done before our meeting, because I think our meeting's actually delayed this week, isn't it? Because there's a holiday, I think. Yeah, so usually the call would be on Wednesday. It's actually going to be on Thursday, and for me, it's currently Monday. So I've got some time. What did you get done though? So let us know either in the chat if you're here on the live, or in the comments if you're here on the replay. Did you get your last quote? Last, I mean, you can just rewatch this and just do some more. What did you get done in your last little period of time, in your last sprint? I'm feeling good about the progress that I've made today, because I don't know, sometimes Monday mornings are usually live time. So, we do a live stream of some description. So it's not necessarily like wasted time. I would not call it that at all. It's just more, I get to the end of the live stream and I'm like, okay, now the day has to start. Like, what am I getting done? But as part of this one, we've already gotten stuff started. Very exciting. I did notice that we had a question, and the question was, has Jess said that she's going to do a Go Wild video? I know at some point she wanted to, but had some strong opinions. So I did want to. I don't necessarily think it's going to be on this channel. If I do end up doing one, it'll probably go on the vlog channel, just because I feel like it would be more appropriate to go there. But I would also like to put out the rest of my Go Wild vlogs and trip vlogs before I do that video. It's also one of those things that, like, I know that we've also had like a period of time away from it, so my memory may not be as good as it could be. I think that my insights may still be valuable for people if they're thinking about going. So, I would like to put it out. We'll just see what happens. It's one of those things that one of my focuses at the moment is really about like the bullet journal basic series and that kind of video content. Whereas the vlog channel is kind of taking like a back burner kind of seat. It's one of those things that, like, I would like to do it. I do enjoy it, but the enjoyment versus the time commitment versus the payoff, there's a little bit of a, like, it's not quite at the right level. I don't know if that makes sense. Hopefully it makes sense. Secondary question, I suppose, is what is Go Wild? So Go Wild is a kind of planner conference. It's held typically once a year. This year it was held in March in Washington, D.C. It's a lot of fun. If you do like a little Google search, I think if there's like Wild for Planners is the people who run it. So if you go to like wildforplanners.com or something like that, they have more information about it there. But yeah. Yeah, no, I was thinking we could do something like a, is this conference right for you kind of thing. Yeah, like the notebooks. It's kind of more about like, hey, these are my insights about how I found it. But you can use that to make a choice about whether you would like to go, kind of a thing. And I'm really glad that you enjoyed the sprint. I think that it's just nice having some people to do some work with. You know, I find that especially working for myself and being at home by myself, and having to hold myself accountable to actually getting stuff done is a little bit tricky sometimes. I tend to allow my side quests to distract me and get a little bit off topic, but having you guys here with me to actually get some work done is always very helpful for that. So, save this video. If you need another accountability buddy again, we'll just do it again. Yeah, that's right. Let's go for another 3 hours. I, on the other hand, do actually have a meeting to get to. Not just yet. We're still chatting, but otherwise, we would have done a couple more. I mean, our last sprint video that we did was like 6 hours long, I think. It was like a 6-hour long sprint. So same idea, 45 minutes, 15, 45, 15. If you want to see more of the sprints though, do make sure to like this video, because I know that we have a core group of people who are like sprint enthusiasts and they want to see heaps, but I have to balance that with what we can do in other live streams and stuff as well, because I've been very much enjoying doing live streaming this year, because that's not something that I did a lot of previously. I know we did a lot of live streams back in February of last year, where we did kind of a month of planning series where we had a live stream every day, but having ones that are kind of more regular throughout the year. The weekly ones that we've been doing this year, I've been really enjoying, and I hope that you guys have enjoyed them too. But it's also been nice to kind of touch on a range of topics. So, we've done this one where we've done like our sprints today with just, doing some productivity stuff. And then we've been doing our swatching ones. And I know that me and the patron team, or memberships, I keep calling them the patrons, and you're not just patrons, and I apologize. Me and the team with a capital T, we've been doing ones like a master grocery list. We kind of started looking at making one of those, and we've done ones where it's like, journal migration and population and things like that. We've hosted the project planning one. That was a wider one, but it was a lot of fun. But yeah. No, I'm glad that you enjoy the sprints. I know that it's not at the greatest time for everybody. Like for me, it's a Monday morning, so I'm like, yeah, let's do the thing, rah rah, fight the power. But for some of our people in Europe and stuff like that, it's like, oh yeah, hey, it's 1 a.m. Like, hey, do you want to get some stuff done at 1 a.m. on a Sunday, or Monday morning, I suppose at that point. Boof. But yeah. I do find that the 45-15 is a fairly good amount of time for me. I think sometimes I struggle with 45 minutes straight. It's just maybe a little bit too much. So I would go with something like a 20-minute 10 kind of a thing. So if you'd prefer to see a 20-minute 10, you let me know about that too. Yeah. The replays are good for just like being able to do the amount of time that you need to do. Yeah, we've got an 8 p.m., a 5 p.m. kind of a thing. Time zones trip me out like so badly, especially when I have to try and convert it, because it's like, okay, I'm 6 hours behind, but a day ahead. Oof. Anywho, gorgeous humans, I'm going to go and get ready for my meeting. It was such a pleasure having you here with me. I hope you guys got a lot done. And if you need to get more done, then just start the whole thing again. I will see you next week. Make sure that you keep an eye on the community tab, because we are going to vote on what topic we want to do for that live. But until next time, bye for now.